today, my little subject, God's favor.
Yeah.
God's favor. Elijah had God's favor. If he hadn't had God's favor, God wouldn't have did what he did. But Elijah had God's favor because he was a prophet of God. And he had did all that God had told him to do. And if you read the 18th chapter, and most of y'all know this story about Elijah challenging the prophets of Baal. And when he challenged them, he gave them what to have, to put on the altar so they can see they was not serving the true and living God. And when they did that, they went on and did all they needed to do, cut them up, put it on the altar, and then they called on their God. Yeah. And Elijah, after their God wouldn't hear them or couldn't hear them, Elijah started making fun of them. And he started telling them, your God must be asleep. Your God must be on a journey. And your God must be talking too much or he can't hear you. Yeah, y'all understand what I'm saying? And then after he got through mocking them, he told them what to do to his altar because he wanted to show them who God was. And I'm going to use this. And he wanted to let them know that he had favor with God. And somebody said, today, God's favor ain't right. And if you do what God tells you to do, his favor is right. Because you'll have God's favor. When you got God's favor, can't nothing hurt you. I ain't telling you ain't gonna die. Because you can be killed, but guess what? When you wake up on the other side, you'll be all right. And Elijah, when he told them what to do, he went above and beyond what Baal prophet did. He told them to take some barrels of water and pour on the altar. And when he did that, he said, dig a trench around the altar. And he poured enough water on the altar that it filled the trench up with water. And I can imagine, how y'all do things, especially men and women that play sports, how y'all taunt the other players. I can imagine Elijah was taunting Baal prophet. He said, you watch and see this. You ever watch this and see what happened? And then he wasn't just really bragging, but he was telling them that I serve the true and living God. And I can imagine that they were pouring water on and say, look, I'm going to do this, y'all didn't do this, and I'm going to show you who God is. And after they got through, pouring the water on, then he called on God. And when he called on God, God showed up. How did he show up? He showed up in fire. And when he showed up, he burned up the altar. Y'all tell me something. I'm going to slow down here. Y'all tell me this. I want to know how many of y'all have seen fire lick up water. Y'all seen water put out fire. But the Bible said that fire licked up the water. That was God in it. Not Elijah doing it, but that was God doing it. But because Elijah had God's favor, God did it. And then when God got through sending the fire to lick up the water, Elijah got in trouble. Just like a lot of people got God's favor, you fall out of favor with God. Why you do that? Because you start complaining. Start mumbling, grumbling. Elijah told God, I'm the only prophet you got left. But God said, I got some news for you. It may not be too good for you, Elijah, since you just think you're the only one. But you ain't the only one left, Elijah. And then Elijah went out there and God sent him out there under that juniper tree. And when he got out there under that juniper tree, guess what? If God hadn't took care of Elijah, he'd have starved to death. But since he still had favor with God, God sent a raven to feed him. And when he got through feeding him, God told him to go up into the mountain. And when he went up into the mountain, God, you know what? A lot of us think God gonna come in a big miraculous way. Sometimes he does. And it may not be no big miraculous way you be looking for. It may not be there. Because the Bible says when the wind came and broke, blowed the mountain away almost, God was not there. And he went in the earthquake.
All right.
And he's in another fire.